Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob, and this is episode 96. Today we're facing something that makes most people uncomfortable, but it just might set you free. Let's talk about hypocrisy. Not the loud public kind, the quiet, subtle, personal kind that shows up in all of us. This isn't about catching others, it's about recognizing it in ourselves and learning what to do when we do. What is hypocrisy really? We usually think of hypocrisy as preaching one thing and doing another. And yes, sometimes it's that obvious. But more often, it's quieter. It looks like calling for compassion while gossiping behind closed doors. Preaching forgiveness while refusing to let go of your own grudges. Demanding truth from others while lying to protect yourself. Championing love, but only when it feels easy or safe. Or expecting grace, but offering judgment. It's easy to spot in someone else. Harder to see in the mirror, because it hides behind good intentions, behind stress, behind old habits, behind stories we've told ourselves to feel safe. Why don't we see it sooner? Well, here's the truth. Hypocrisy usually isn't born of malice. It's born of blind spots. It's when your values and your behavior fall out of sync and your ego steps in to protect you from noticing. But eventually, if you're growing, if you're open, if you're brave, you start to feel it. A quiet tension, a moment of discomfort when you say something that doesn't sit right, a pause after you speak wondering, did I mean that? And that discomfort, well, that's the invitation. When you catch it, don't flee from it, stay curious. The moment you see it in yourself, your first instinct might be to run from it. To explain it away, to say, I didn't mean it, to change the subject, to point to someone worse. But growth doesn't happen through avoidance. It happens through curiosity. Try asking yourself, where did that come from? Am I trying to protect something here? Is this coming from fear or love? Do my words align with how I actually live? This is emotional growth, not perfection. Awareness. Because awareness creates choice. And choice is where transformation begins. Responding to hypocrisy with humility and love is what we need to do. So you see it. Now what? You own it. You name it gently, honestly, without spiraling into shame. That wasn't in alignment. I said one thing, but I acted differently. I want to do better. Those are the things you tell yourself. That's powerful. Not because it looks impressive, but because it removes the wall between who you are and who you are becoming. And love? Love meets you right there. Unconditional love doesn't expect perfection, but it does invite integrity. It reminds you that being honest with yourself doesn't make you weak, it makes you whole. Why reversing hypocrisy isn't just for you? When you live aligned, when your values match your choices, something happens in your relationships too. People feel safer around you. They trust you more. They open up more because your life doesn't contradict your message. You become a healing presence. Not because you have it all together, but because you're willing to be honest about when you don't. And that honesty becomes a thread of compassion that runs through every interaction you have. What do you think it looks like in real life? Well, you stop using love as a performance and start using it as a practice. You apologize without defending. You grow in public, not just in private. You question your own thinking before questioning someone else's. You hold space for others because you've made space for yourself. It's subtle, but it changes everything, because hypocrisy builds walls, but honesty, rooted in love, builds bridges. Seeing it in yourself is not failure, it's freedom. If this episode stirred something in you, if a part of you winced, if you recognized a gap between what you say and how you live, that's not the end of the story. That's the beginning. You're not a fraud. You're not a failure. You're someone who wants to live from love. And that desire, that intention, that's the very thing that starts to close the gap. So breathe, soften, realign, and remember, you're not here to appear perfect. You're here to live honestly, love openly, and grow as you go. And when you do, the people around you will notice, and they'll feel a little braver about doing the same. Guys, that's what I have noticed. I mean, on this journey that I've been on for the last few years, it's noticing the people change around me and knowing, seeing that it's because of things they've heard from me. I'm not taking credit for their change. I'm saying that living this yourself affects and changes others for the better. I see more people saying I love you openly to other people all the time now, to people they would not have normally been. When I first started on this, I started saying I love you openly to anyone and everyone. And there was a gentleman, a good friend, and a good friend in love that was uncomfortable. And he wrote me privately and he said, can you remove that I love you from my post? Because people will take that wrong and they'll think we're in a relationship or something like that. He was more worried about something like that. And I told him my reasoning. And yes, of course I would remove it. But he then, after I told him my reasoning and my thought process on it, he completely said, no, don't remove it. I get what you're saying. I get what you're going after. And now he does it regularly to everyone. But he was uncomfortable because that's the way we've been taught. Thank you guys for walking into this one with me. It takes courage to admit we're not always living what we believe. But that courage is what brings us back to love. And love is where everything starts to heal. Until next time, stay honest, stay humble, and stay rooted in love. I love you guys very, very, very much. And you know what I need you to do. Go out and pass that on. Later, Gators.
Every story, every voice. In this love we all rejoice. Infinite threads, here we go. Welcome.